Now, the Big D and Bubba Weekly Podcast.
Big D and Bubba, they have a show 5 days a week, but they don't get to say everything that's on their mind, so they have an extra one, and that's how we get the podcast, the podcast, the podcast. Big D and Bubba podcast, the podcast, the podcast.
Yeah.
Big D and Bubba's podcast.
Welcome back to another fun podcast, kids. How you doing? We're Big D and Bubba, and of course, the podcast sponsored by our friends at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud, Big D, because I ran across something. I was going through the archives from several years ago, looking for something else. But I ran across a gold that was a gold, probably the first gold we ever made.
Is it with labeled gold in the system?
No.
Before we even.
This is before we had a name. Like the golds.
Okay.
The golds. If you don't know, if you're new to the podcast, the golds are these little things, little moments, little things that happen during the show that we just keep for ourselves and go, oh, remember that? It's like a great memory. Well, this is the first one. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I don't think you are. I'm going to have to play it. Here we go.
Oh, I just spilled coffee on me.
You found the guy?
Yes, I found
I'd
it.
lost
Bobby
that
McGee.
for a while.
That was a guy that we knew way back when. He and I used to play pool and drink beers at the Texas Club together. We even went as Hooter Girls to Halloween together one time.
That's right.
We had a good time. But that is
I
the
just spilled
original.
coffee on myself.
That was the very first original gold before we even had a category called the golds.
Oh, I just spilled coffee on me.
I love that.
And you know what's interesting is I always remember him saying myself.
Myself.
Yeah, I do
spilled
too.
coffee on
But he doesn't.
myself.
I just spilled coffee on myself. But
Well, I
that's-
think
he doesn't
because
even
we-
say just. Does he say just? It's just something else.
Oh, I just spilled coffee on me.
he did. I just spilled coffee on me.
spilled
Just put coffee on me.
Yeah, so we made him laugh enough to where he spilled coffee on himself, and that's pretty great.
Isn't that our goal every day? Like I hope at least once a day someone laughs
yeah,
and spills coffee on themselves.
yeah, that's kind of what we're aiming for. So, Bobby McGee, wherever you are, whatever has happened to you, whatever life has put on your plate, hopefully it has been awesome all these years.
Yes, for sure. Well, hello, everyone, and we're glad to have you with us. I am sorry in the middle of switching on video stuff, and it looks weird, but I think I got it now. It's all good.
Okay.
Fine. Sorry
Big
about
D set everything up today,
Yeah.
so everything's going to be slightly different. Not bad,
that.
not
It's going to be wrong.
not wrong, just different.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn my my thing all wonky there. Now I look like
Yeah.
I'm in an episode of Batman 1966.
Hold
on.
So you know that technique where you Bubba turned it sideways, that's used in lots of films, and it's used to convey
When the Titanic
chaos
is sinking.
and yes, like in Batman when they would like start fighting or whatever, it would get kind of crazy. They also do it in the Twilight Zone, and they have weird angles. Also, the Twilight Zone, every episode they had at least one shot that was shot reflected by a mirror.
Really?
Yeah, every episode.
To be a reverse image of whatever was going on?
Well, it's just like not necessarily sometimes, but sometimes it would just be just an angled shot. You'd see them, but it would be bouncing off of a mirror, and they did that.
Can we talk
I was
about?
really into that.
Can we talk about something that came up on the show today that I didn't get to really dig in, but I like Joe Buck. I know a lot of people hate Joe Buck, but boy, he missed it last night.
Missed
He
what? The
just
call?
missed oh gosh, man! You're
You're
Joe Buck.
talking about
This
the
is-
Field of Dreams
First of all,
baseball
Field
game.
of Dreams game was great. It was great, and I don't mean to get into touchy subject, but it was nice having announcers that were there. You could tell they were there in the same room together and not doing what ESPN still does, where everybody's just zooming from their house watching football.
Yeah.
I
or baseball.
can't even tell the difference.
I can tell when they're not there. They talk over each other. It's
Well,
all,
you can also see, it's weird. You can actually tell when they're looking at each other going, remember the thing? And they turn and you get that there is more energy.
Yeah. It was definitely, there was just more energy last night. It was excitement to it. There was everything. But man, the final call of the final home run. How does he not yell, "It's in the corn"? How does he not have a Field of Dreams reference in his head, you know? And people will come, Ray. Something other than gone. Oh, thanks, Joe. Yes, it's gone. You know.
Wow,
He
you're
even said
really
the wall.
nitpicky on this.
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
is-
saying, you had to be, as a play-by-play guy, and I know Joe Buck has had things in his head before because he mirrored his dad
father.
with the, we'll see you tomorrow night and all that stuff. So how are you not, like, have something written on paper? If it ends in a walk-off home run, I should say, "It's in the corn." Or,
Just further
you know.
proof that Joe Buck is the worst.
See, I told you.
don't
Some
like Joe
people
Buck
hate
either?
Joe
Or
Buck.
what if he were to come back and go, "He's a corn star"?
No. No.
Really had hoped
No,
he
this
was
is why
going
we-
to get
And
that
how-
Jeopardy
Let Bubba do
job.
it.
How did Craig Morgan not get corn star put on to the
Nobody
beginning of this?
knows that.
But the point is, it's
Outside
corn
of this
star, and
room.
it's awesome, and it's all about just.
What's your beef with Joe Buck?
Oh
Carson?
my God, he's the worst.
Did you work with
He's
him when you
so-
were at NBC?
No, he's just
Oh,
a
okay.
smug, entitled, benefit of nepotism, wretched human being.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Wow.
I was hoping he'd get the Jeopardy job full time because the point was, if you got Jeopardy, you would be off my TV on Sundays. Ugh, I'd rather give up Jeopardy than have to deal with you.
I like Joe Buck. I like him doing football. I like him
get
doing
what
baseball.
I
like
get
him.
what she's saying though. That he comes off as very
smug.
He's
He is.
smug
The
and he
ego
is.
on that man. You are not the one out there playing the sports, sir. Sit down. Get over it.
I do like the guy
so
that's
much going on
really
here.
hate him.
what's the guy? He's I think he's San Francisco's guy, baseball, and he does the MLB The Show video game. He's the,
Oh, I like that guy. Yeah, because I know him from MLB The Show.
yeah, it's an unusual name.
Speaking of corn, he's the guy who really brought the can of corn
Vasgersian,
thing.
Matt Vasgersian.
That's it.
Yeah, Matt Vasgersian. He brought the can of corn thing into commonplace. And
Who?
Matt Vasgersian was the guy who, on the video game years ago, he would go, every time somebody caught a routine pop fly, the video game would go, "Hey, it's a can of corn." Every single time. And then he would go into this thing twice a game where they would tell the story of, and the reference comes from, you would knock it off the top shelf and just catch it. And it would be a very easy catch. So it was a can of corn catch. And it was like this goofy reference from like our grandparents' era. And then all of a sudden, all the kids on the playground would be like, "It's a can of corn." And that went on for a long time. And I still hear it today.
You don't hear it a whole lot
But you
anymore.
do, well, because
Yeah,
they took it out of the game because it was so overdone.
you hear it some at games, but usually from older guys.
I'm
Like,
just saying, I'm going
Who
back
played
to
the
Joe
game?
Buck.
who play the game.
You're sitting there. You know this guy's got a chance to win the game with one swing. You see the ball going over the fence. How do you not just stand there and go, it's gone. Well, we're out of here. I best be going before
Yeah,
Alicia
well-
starts thinking I got a girlfriend. Something.
Yeah,
Throw in
That's
a
what
Field of
happens
Dreams
when you're
reference.
handed your job.
Oh my
the lack of
gosh.
creativity.
Jeez, Carson,
Just because your
damn.
dad
I
was
didn't know
good.
Carson was going to bring that James Vanderbeek hate with Joe
God,
Buck.
is there anyone you do like?
I do. It's like, what's his face? Willie Geist. Can't stand him either. On the Today Show, he does like the Sunday morning stuff. Another one, your dad was famous and good at what he did, so we handed you a network job.
Who was his dad?
Something, I don't know. He was like a big reporter dude or something. He was, again,
Ed Geist.
somebody. It's just the nepotism runs rampant, and it just puts a bad taste in my mouth. So that's the genesis of my dislike for Joe Buck, but he has done nothing to prove me wrong,
Yeah.
except be it.
Oh, I just spilled coffee on me.
She wasn't in here. She didn't.
No.
It's an old school. It's an oldie but a goodie. And I thought the Field of Dreams game and presentation was done very well, Patrick.
Yeah.
The pregame, I caught part of it, but I heard it was really, really good.
It was good.
And when they walked out of the corn,
Amazing.
it was goosebumps. Carson said she cried,
I did.
teared up.
And,
Kevin
and she
Costner
didn't
did a
even.
great-
Carson's never watched
No.
the movie.
It was just very moving, though.
Kevin
Yeah.
Costner
You
did
know
a-
what it is? That music.
Yeah, the music's huge. But when he was just walking out there and he just had, when the players start coming, he had this look on his face like he wasn't smiling. He looked like he was about to cry. Like it was very, he acted his way through it, and it was really well done. I was impressed by the whole thing.
I even Googled where I could watch Field of Dreams this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, the only free app looks like it's on Peacock.
Yeah, you can watch it with
Do you have
commercials on
Peacock?
Peacock.
I pay for the upgraded Peacock.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't want to watch commercials during Yellowstone.
Yeah, I own it. I think it's worth owning. I haven't seen it in a few years, but all this talk about the game and stuff. Can you bring her camera up some? All the talk of the game and the Field of Dreams, and it's just so
I thought the presentation was good. I got to be honest, my favorite thing was how they tried to make everything look homemade. Like, to me, that was the coolest thing ever. You know, having all the wood and, you know, just everything was great. Like, they could have made it look like any other minor league park. They could have done it to where it was whatever, but they went full Hollywood on it, and they made it really authentic feeling. Because
so you like that?
I did.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I saw a bunch of people on Twitter going, this looks hokey and all that kind of stuff. And the whole idea was it was supposed to look like an old-time ballpark from back in the day. I mean, look, in the 1800s, early 1900s, they weren't playing in these giant palatial palaces of baseball like what we have now.
Yeah.
They were playing on little things like that. And
did you notice the batter's eye was
yes,
it looked like a barn?
Mm-hmm.
The silhouette of a barn.
Yep.
So cool. And it had openings for cameras to come out of. They kind of like little holes or whatever.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they had 3 cameras in the outfield set up, and the scaffolding behind it.
They were angels in the outfield.
That's a whole
Oh, wait, I'm
different-
sorry. That was Ghosts. Man.
Sorry,
again.
that was Ghosts.
It's a different movie.
Which, by the way, was a great movie.
Angels in the outfield.
What's the one with the little kid who breaks his arm and all of a sudden he...
That's
I was going to say Million Dollar
Little Big
Baby.
League.
Yeah, Little
No.
Big... No. I don't know, but that's one of my favorite baseball movies, too.
The kid
so many
who starts
baseball
throwing really hard.
Yeah, he breaks his arm and all of a sudden he comes with the heat.
Yeah, and they sign him.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then...
he's-
Spoilers! They fix it at the end and he can't play anymore.
Oh, thanks.
Well, there's a movie I don't have to watch.
It's good, though.
What is the last movie you've watched, Carson?
I watched the new Suicide Squad. I put that on last week.
How's that?
Not spectacular.
I haven't
didn't
liked
care
any
for it.
of the Suicide Squad stuff at all. I tried to watch the Harley movie.
Yeah,
The one that
Birds
they,
of Prey.
Yeah, and that was bad too.
I didn't watch that. I liked the original Suicide Squad, which I know puts me in a very weird minority because a lot of people didn't care for Jared Leto as the Joker. But I love Margot Robbie, and I didn't think they made as good use of her in this most recent movie.
Again.
Yeah. Well, the first Suicide Squad, I thought she was really good.
So do you think, did you watch the Zack Snyder, whatever, mega cut of Justice League? Oh, you have to watch it. It's 4 hours long, but it's...
4 hours. You know how many episodes of like a TV show
What
I can
I
watch
was
4
going to
hours?
tell you is it's broken into episodes.
Yeah.
So, like, as you're watching, all of a sudden there'll be a cut screen and it'll say chapter 2 or whatever it will. Oh, and just stop it right there and go on to doing whatever.
Is
you
Ben
wanna-
Affleck Batman in that one?
It's actually really good.
Nope, thank you.
In
That's
spite
all
of... What happened? I thought you were all on Ben and Jen recently.
Yes, I'm a
and-
very big fan when he's got Jennifer Lopez next to him and they're vacationing in Italy, but I don't care for him wearing the cape and cowl.
I will go with you on that one and
cape and
agree.
what?
The cape and cowl.
You know, the Batman mask.
Ears.
They call that a cowl?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Moo.
It's
an
called
L.
it's
Yeah,
cowl.
Yeah.
The cape and
Did
cowl.
I say it wrong, cow?
No, wouldn't it be great if like they wore a cow, like the cape and like just a cow? Here we go.
It's a moo point.
Oh, look at you!
That's a
Look at
Friends
her.
joke.
She's utterly awesome.
It's like a cow's opinion.
Showing
Doesn't mean
her
anything.
spots. Okay.
The Friends?
It's a
Ooh,
Friends
yeah,
reference.
it's a Friends reference.
I maybe watched one entire episode of Friends. I think the last episode I watched.
You've seen enough.
I've
That's
seen
about all you
I've
need.
seen a bunch, just never in
See,
order.
man, Carson's hating on Friends. Carson's hating on Joe Buck.
is not
Carson's
having-
No,
hating
like
on
I liked
Superman.
Friends
day.
when it was out and popular, but the undying love people have for the show, bless them. I don't think it's particularly rewatchable.
I do.
I get very
think it's
irritated.
great,
What's
and
that
I love
one?
it.
What's that one you liked? How I Met Your
I
Mother.
love How I Met Your Mother. Love it.
God, Carson, can you just
Love
turn
it.
your mic off?
Carson
Sorry.
loved How I Met Your Mother.
loved How I Met Your Mother,
Just like
and it
me,
ended
the
so
last
badly.
5 minutes of that show can.
So
I was going
bad.
to say something inappropriate. I hate it so much.
I thought you
But I'm
liked the
over
way
it.
it ended.
Ooh, it was
No, I loved it. I
terrible.
loved the last season. I loved the last episode. I loved all of it. Last 5 minutes.
They
Totally ruined
made
the show.
What's
the
wrong with the
worst.
last 5 minutes?
See, I
they,
didn't.
they undid everything
Oh,
that
it's
they
just
did
so
in the
much- yes.
seasons that really you made me watch this entire show, which I did love and I thought was brilliant. And then you just
Well,
negated
just say it.
all
I mean,
of
it's
it.
been out for like 5 years.
I know, but people still watch stuff new.
Well,
Well,
They've
and now
so
How
ruined
I Met Your
show.
Father is coming out.
Yeah,
Oh,
How
I
Met
thought
Your
that
Father.
already came
no,
out.
they
Uh-uh.
tried to
Flopped.
do that. They tried to do it, and it never hit the. How I Met Your Dad was the name back then.
Yes.
Now it's How I Met Your Father, and it's Hillary Duff, right?
Yes, it is. My Lizzie McGuire, since we're not getting the Lizzie McGuire reboot. Boo.
Wait, I thought that was coming too.
No, they pulled the plug on that, man. I was so excited for my Lizzie to make her way back.
Have they pulled the plug on the Obi-Wan thing, the series? Okay, so
No,
that's
they've
still
been
happening?
filming that.
Okay, all right. Well, I
Yeah,
just
Ewan
didn't know.
McGregor's been posting about that.
Okay, see, I don't follow
Mm-hmm.
him on Twitter and stuff. I try not to follow celebrities on Twitter, especially people out, because Obi-Wan is my favorite character of all of Star Wars. Just always has been. I don't like to follow characters or the actors who play characters that I really love because I don't want them to say something I don't like. You know, it goes back to that whole you never want to meet your heroes kind of thing. I don't want to know too much.
Nathan Fillion made fun of Def Leppard on Twitter one day, and I was done.
I loved him.
I did
loved
too.
him a lot.
Love Nathan Fillion. Then I went, nope.
Like he
I
was
can't-
great.
I can't heart you
What was
anymore,
that
sir.
cop
Who
show
that
that
is?
he was
Who's
doing
Nathan
after
Fillion?
Firefly? He did. He's
Castle. Do you remember the show on ABC?
that's it.
Castle?
Castle, the cop show.
Yeah.
yeah, that was fantastic. The whole idea of him
Yep.
as the writer.
And he
and-
made fun of Def Leppard, and now you hate
Dead
him?
to me. Dead. We're done.
okay, what about that Irish band that I went
Dang.
and saw, Def Leprechaun?
Yeah, I mean they can.
They
do what
weren't
they
making
want.
fun of. That was just their name. It was
Yeah,
a
but they're not
play on it.
celebrities.
You
so
found out that Joe Buck is like friends with one of the leopard people.
I mean, we all make
Like,
mistakes.
And yeah,
I've been friends with questionable characters.
I'm just saying, would
Three of them right
would
here.
it make you like Joe Buck more to find out
No.
he's a huge Def Leppard fan?
No, I'd be like,
And
oh
that he
well,
and Joe, is that one of
he's
them?
not
his
as
personal
stupid
friends?
as I thought.
Okay,
I'll say
That's
that.
Still, he's just
I,
so harsh.
maybe his makes his face less punchable. I don't know.
Punchable.
Man.
Man.
You know, I always think
Why
Wow,
don't
we're-
guys line up at your door again?
oh man,
My neighbor Daryl told me I looked pretty the other day.
oh, Daryl.
Hey, man.
Darryl.
Listen, of all this talk about Daryl that you've had over the years, you're whittling it down to 0 options.
Right. You know what?
You're gonna come in one day and go, well,
Nope.
You know what? You could always tear that wall down between your house and Daryl's house and
right.
make it a duplex.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he's so
desperate times call for.
never that desperate. I could be with anyone. I'd rather be alone.
Maybe he's just putting a front. Maybe he doesn't. You intimidate him, and so he doesn't know how to react around you, and so he comes off.
Maybe
awkward.
I've been as charming to him as I have been during this podcast.
Man, that's quite possible.
Yep,
actually.
quite possible.
Oh man, how many times have you had him move his vehicle?
Oh,
out
I had
of
to do
your
it 2
parking
weeks
spot?
ago. Who is it? Hey, Daryl. It's Carmen. Because he doesn't.
He doesn't know her name. He calls her
He calls me
Carmen.
Carmen, 100%.
I love how you call yourself Carmen now.
Why-
Like, why fight it?
All right. Well, from now on, the rest she is Carmen. So everyone,
so
please,
much easier. Hey,
thank
Daryl.
you.
Oh, you need me to move my truck? He already knew there was a problem. Already knew.
Yeah, because it's like a chick leaving her scarf at a guy's house.
That's exactly what I was just
yeah,
Yep.
as a reason to go back.
He's
Well-
like, I want to see Carmen today. I'm
This
gonna
is a classic
put my
move.
truck right here.
This guy is well versed in the arts.
I mean, I told you he had the girl that came over to my house because he locked himself out. Like, I need to get on your deck because I need to get to my deck because he leaves his slider door open or something. And I thought, wow, Daryl's going to scale the fence between the... Nope, he had some girl do it. He brings this girl in my house and she's just scurrying on up. And I thought, man, I don't know what your game is, but you're playing it well. You got her doing it.
Wow.
Good for you. Go Daryl.
I've heard lots about you, Carmen.
I want to know what TV show. What TV show did you? Have you ever watched a TV show all the way through and
That you loved.
that you
and
loved all like wrapped up good and everything? Or
I have a
you hated
guess.
the
I have a
ending?
guess. I have a guess. X-Files.
No.
What? You
No.
used to, man. He would come in and just like be like, "Did you watch last night?"
Yeah, I did, but I didn't. And I may have watched all of it. I don't remember. I do remember 24 was a big one. That I was.
Fair.
I
I
watched.
feel
it all
like
the
you
way
trail
through.
off before the show's end, though. Usually,
Yeah.
Well, with
kinda-
X Files, it was fair because you had like Mulder and Scully leave. So
Yeah.
it was still harder to kind of get in with Robert Muldoon and stuff. That would be
Um,
forgivable.
One show I really liked was Scrubs, which was on NBC, and then it had like 7 or 8 seasons or something, and the finale was perfect. It was the last 10 minutes of that show. They wrapped everything up nicely. It was great, and then they came back for another season with only half the cast and kind of like a reworked idea.
Why would they do that?
Kinda like,
Money, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, money.
Yes.
Oh, it was awful. It was, and then nobody watched it, so now people list that as the finale, like the season 9 finale, and I'm like, no, that doesn't count.
Was he really?
That was
was
really,
the-
and it was really good too.
What was the Community thing? 6 seasons and
6 seasons and a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we still haven't gotten that movie.
Waiting on the movie.
I haven't seen
Did
it.
they have 6
Community,
seasons?
by the way, if you guys are looking for a good show to binge, that is a very bingeable, fun
Yes.
show because there's a lot of running gags in it. The Beetlejuice thing, I think, is fantastic. So, like, they would mention Beetlejuice. Well, the third time they said his name on a totally different episode, you see in the background, Beetlejuice walks by. Because you remember if you said his name, Beetlejuice,
Yes,
Beetlejuice.
I got it.
I mean, there was like
I
little
love
things that
stuff
you
like
really
I do.
It is. They do so many little Easter eggs. They're great.
Carson and I have talked a lot about TV
Carmen.
shows. I'm sorry. Carmen and I have talked a lot about TV shows that existed before you could go and watch everything and binge it. So, like with Friends, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't add up. Like somebody mentions their birthday and it's in February, and then they're celebrating their birthday 4 seasons later and it's in November. And, you know, things like that. Frasier mentions in Cheers that his dad is dead.
Well, in Cheers, there's so many, I guess, continuity issues like
Yeah.
that. I believe in Frasier, in Cheers, Frasier's an only child. His dad is dead. His mom's alive. They switch that in Frasier that the mom is dead and the dad's alive. And then you have Roz, and then the guy that plays his dad, John Mahoney, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say, I'm not sure David Hyde Pierce, but they all made guest spots on Cheers.
Yeah.
So, and Roz is in the final season of Cheers as a reporter doing a story about Woody. And because I'm a dork for that stuff, I'm like,
Yeah. Back then, not only did people not have streaming, you didn't. The idea of buying a whole series on cassette, it didn't exist.
On
Like even if you
VHS.
had the money, like buying a whole series on DVD in 2000. When I bought the first 3 seasons of Friends in 2002, I think, or 2001. And that was outrageous, like $40 for the whole season.
Well,
or
I remember it was
$45.
like just to get the first 3 original Star Wars on VHS, it was like $90 back in the day. Then they re-released it like a year later as a special edition, and it had like an extra scene or 2. And then they went and did another one. I can't tell you how many times George Lucas has dipped into my pocket and pulled money out of it because he kept doing
kept
these
doing
new
it.
releases.
But the thing
Here's the
with
silver edition, the gold edition, the whatever.
Yeah, the thing with the TV shows is when that wasn't a thing, so they didn't think anybody would notice. Like they're not.
Well,
gonna,
you
you're not-
also-
people aren't going to notice that we had a little continuity flub, or that we messed up where we said this person went to school, or we messed up with something. Nobody cared. Now, like shows like Mad Men that were started after streaming was a thing. And they knew people were going to go back and watch it. So they built it from the beginning knowing that everybody was going to go back and question everything.
Which is why people like Lucasfilm and all that had basically continuity people. They were world
Yeah, but it's easy to
lords.
do
They would
that
be like
when
they would
there's-
go and say,
You're doing 3 movies, or even 9 movies, or even 20 movies.
but they would do
When
it
you're
with the
doing-
books too. They were
Yeah.
going. They went to the different things, and basically, if it was in the books, it wasn't canon. If it was in the movies, it was.
That wasn't always the way it was. They changed it. They went back afterwards and declared the books weren't canon.
yeah,
But
What do y'all mean canon?
Like law.
canon means real.
that
basically.
exists in the same, that
it's part of the story, and
part
it's
of the
officially
lore.
part of the story.
So basically, whatever was in the books became classified kind of like fan fiction almost.
yeah.
But they still would bring certain characters from the books in. like throw. I know. I'm just.
He just went full Star. Like he just co-opted a thing and made it Star Wars nerds.
Well, my favorite soap forever, because my grandmas both watched it, and I loved All My Children, and I watched it up through I was in college. I would set VCR every day to record it, and I got so irritated where they took one character and hooked her up with another because of the backstory. And I get it; it was 10 years later, but
What soap?
it was All My Children.
Okay.
And I got so irritated that they hooked up Trevor and Janet. Do we not remember that Janet threw Natalie, Trevor's fiance, she threw Natalie in a well? And then she married Trevor pretending to be Natalie. And I was like, this wouldn't. I was so incensed. I stopped watching All My Children, and now they're off the air. So that's on you, writers. That's it.
Ruthless.
Carmen's never happy.
Carmen is never happy.
Doesn't
Carmen,
matter.
are you watching Virgin River?
Yes.
Okay. Are you caught up?
Yeah, this new season felt like it could have been done
Well,
in an episode. It wasn't
Because
great.
what they did was they filmed it during the lockdowns.
Yeah.
So you had all the stuff where Hope didn't want to be part of the cast because she was all afraid. And then
Annette O'Toole is a treasure. If she doesn't want to be there, that's okay. I love her.
Really?
Yeah, she's married to Michael McKean. She starred as Lola in the Copacabana made-for-TV movie.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
As a fanalo, I
was
can tell you
hoping
that.
they were going to kill her off. I really was.
She called herself a fanalo.
It's unbelievable.
That's what
I used to
Barry
talk to my
Manilow fans-
third grade teacher about Barry Manilow, so that tells you where my head was at. But
Wow.
yeah,
I'm going to marry him one day.
Mr. Stefano, I
No,
went to
you're
the
not.
concert. No, amazingly enough, that dream did not come true. Also, Barry is married to Gary, which that
that's
just
just
seems
confusing.
right. Like there's
So what name did Gary take, or did Barry take? Is it now Gary Manilow?
I mean, that
Which is like an alternate universe Barry Manilow.
he's
Gary
got like half a
Manilow's
mask.
yeah, he's like not as good, you know.
If you like Barry Manilow, you'll love Gary
At the
Manilow.
Slopa Solana.
Do you remember when Gallagher, the comedian, do you remember this story? His brother was going around doing his act and pretending to be him.
Yeah.
No.
He kind of looked like
Yes,
him.
and he
I
had
don't
to
remember
sue
that.
his brother.
He had to
Remember
sue-
that?
Yeah. Well,
Was he
at first he let
smashing
him do
watermelons?
it. Yeah. At first he let him do it as long as he let people know it wasn't really him, and he would let him just kind of go do Gallagher's old material. Because again, before VHS and streaming, you want to see Gallagher, and he's not coming to the middle of nowhere town where you are. Well, his brother came as Gallagher 2, T-O-O, Gallagher 2. And so they did. He let him do it for a while, and then he kind of got weird, and he was trying to book clubs that Gallagher would normally play in, so he stopped it.
So in other words, he got popular enough. He was starting
Well,
to
not
get big.
popular enough, but he was getting.
He was using the name to
interfering
get
with
himself.
the other business. Yeah.
Gotcha.
and
it
all
was-
that because you sledgehammered a watermelon.
Oh no, dude, I love Gallagher. Gallagher was so funny. Forget
He's-
the watermelon stuff. That stuff was funny too. It was people who think, oh, he just smashed stuff. The whole thing, the whole parody of it, the way
very
it was
smart.
done,
He
it
was
was
very
extremely
smart.
smart. We had him on the show one time, and I wasn't here, and you guys have no idea how much that pained me. By the time I was 13 years old, I had rented from Alfalfa Video all of the Gallagher specials on VHS and watched all of them.
And
So
you know
did
what?
did his routine lead up to a smashing?
It always ended with
Right,
10
I know
minutes
that.
of that.
I know
Yeah.
because I'm sure like my dad watched it, and I was a kid going,
Yeah.
like, "Oh God, this guy with the watermelon again," and I didn't pay attention to the comedy part. She's like, "Is this
It was
over?"
very, I don't know. It was
It was intelligent.
and
Yes,
smart.
it was
Okay.
very
So
intelligent.
I
the
remember
smashing
this-
of the watermelons, I don't remember anything about Gallagher. And I remember the brother, I think the brother came in once.
No, it was Gallagher.
It
That
was actual
that
Gallagher?
came
I
in,
didn't
yeah.
know who was here
No,
then.
we talked to him about how.
would love it if
That's
it
too
was
bad,
the
'cause
brother.
we
brother
refer to him
thing,
as his brother the
that
entire
happened
time.
in the 80s. That was way before us. But yeah, I don't know, man. He's still out there. He's a weird dude.
And Gallagher, the original
The
brother,
original
is
Ga-
passed away, right? He's dead?
No, Gallagher's. What are you talking about? No, Gallagher's
I
still
thought
out
he
there.
died.
No, he's still out there. He's still doing his thing.
I
Trust
thought
me.
I thought his brother smashed him with a giant mallet.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to his brother.
Gallagher now.
Luckily, I had plastic sheeting, so I didn't get it.
I just remember there's one special that
Gallagher died.
I had seen the most when I was a kid, and I now have it on DVD. It was called Gallagher the Maddest. And at the end, he's standing there in the middle of the watermelon thing, and he goes, I don't want to end a 2-hour show with a moment of abject stupidity. And I was like, well, but you did. And sadly, that's what most people take away. 30 years later, most people just remember that he used to smash stuff. But God, it was.
Yeah, that's all I knew.
I loved him. I saw him live when I was 14. I got good grades on my report card, and my dad bought tickets for us to go see Gallagher at the Hyman Performing Arts Center in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Man, I am still blown away.
He's
that
alive.
Gallagher is alive.
Yeah, he's alive,
I'm
man.
like, this is the
I tried
craziest.
last year to figure out how to get him on the show, but we were in the pandemic, and like,
And he's
I wanted him to come
75, and
in,
he
man.
wasn't. Yeah, no, I'm
No,
just
dude,
blown
let's
away.
do
For
it.
some reason, this is like the Sinbad Shaquille O'Neal thing.
Oh.
I have a distinct memory of Gallagher dying and his brother becoming him.
No, that's not how it went down.
Wow,
His brother just stole money from him by pretending to be him for a while.
who knew? Who knew?
Wow,
He could-
Patrick.
yeah.
Well, none of that surprised any of us.
What? That I'm a nerd?
Yes.
And I like
That he
Gallagher?
knew all of that.
you
By
had
the way,
every one
Rookie
of
of the Year was the movie. Thank you, Justin.
Rookie of the
Rookie of the
Year.
Year was
Yep,
the kid
yep.
with the arm and the
What
throwing
was
the heat.
Little Big League? Little Big League was another movie. Was that the kid owns the team in that one? I don't know, man. There's a lot of
What's the
baseball
one with
movies.
Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell?
League of Their Own.
League of Their
I
Own is a great movie. I
almost
love
said
League
Field of Their
Did you know
Own.
they're doing a TV show, League of Their Own now?
Please don't. I thought they already did that.
Nope. Amazon is doing a League of Their Own TV show. Rosie O'Donnell is going to have like a cameo. She's not playing it, but yeah, that was why it came on my
Don't
radar.
ruin excellent things.
I actually love that movie. It's
that
a
movie
great
is
movie.
Yeah, it's
almost
fantastic.
Perfect. It's just fantastic.
Is Tom Hanks in that?
Yes.
He's the
He's the
manager.
manager.
There's no crying in baseball.
So good.
That's it. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Are you crying? So great, man.
I don't think there's any Tom Hanks movie that I don't like. I don't think so.
One of my favorite movies
Have
of
you ever
all
seen
time.
Joe versus the Volcano?
I was about to tell you one of my favorite movies of all time is Joe versus
I
the
was
Volcano.
crap
Yeah,
talking
no.
it, and Bubba loves
We
it.
know.
Of course he does.
love that movie. Like with the symbolism, with the lightning and the crack and the broken road and how they use it throughout the entire movie is just brilliant.
Speaking of Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, I cannot stand Sleepless in Seattle. I think it's atrocious.
I don't remember it.
It is
I was
awful.
not old enough, I think, to watch
just
rom-coms.
awful. Like, what?
You
a
weren't married enough
stupid
to
movie that is.
watch them.
Is it kind of schleppy?
No, it's just like, oh, she hears him on the radio. Okay, I guess that's cool. But then she falls in love with him, and like it's so dumb. Like
They're
why
neighbors
are you,
or something?
No.
she lives on the other side of the
No,
country.
that's the that's
when
the
Harry Met
email.
Sally.
No, I like
No.
that movie. You've
No,
got mail.
no, the Tom Hanks.
You've got mail.
You've got mail.
You've got
That's
mail,
it.
that's
yeah,
it.
I like that one. That was better. But no, yeah, it's just so.
it's schmaltzy
schmaltzy. Yeah, you're gonna fall in love with somebody you've never met
on the
because
radio
you-
because he
yeah.
said, "I'm sad."
Speaking of Meg Ryan, is she going to be in the new Top Gun? This is something we need to
she
know.
In the old Top Gun.
Yeah, she was Goose's wife.
Man, I
Take
don't
me to
know.
bed or lose me to forever. You don't remember that?
Yeah,
That was
I
Meg
remember
Ryan.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I've never seen Top Gun.
You've never seen
Even
Top
I've seen
Gun?
Top Gun.
You have to come to my house
you
so you can
saying-
watch it on the big screen
Yeah,
with the
dude.
speakers and the whole. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
It's
Oh wow!
it's great.
How have you never
Right?
seen
Don't
that?
know. I just never did. I never,
good.
just
You like
never
it?
got there.
It's a good. It's a good flick, man.
Oh,
Great movie.
Val Kilmer, prime Val Kilmer. Dude, he's
Isn't there a Val Kilmer documentary out
yes
now?
on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Val.
Apparently, that was part of the reason they had the initial filming delay was because Val ended up looking like me, and then
Oh,
they
no,
had to
dude.
stop
No,
and
Val-
then get Val back into shape.
You are a
Because he
Sports
is-
Illustrated cover boy compared to freaking.
I think
they
Val
got
Kilmer.
Val back into
But yeah,
shape.
but he was also sick.
Yeah, he
Oh,
had a
well.
disease of some
Yeah.
Oh, crap, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
like Val
he
Kilmer
looked like
was-
he
I
got
didn't know
stung
that.
by bees, and over
was
here
in some
Carter's
dire
like,
straits,
Yeah, he was
man.
about to die. Oh my bad.
well, they got him into they
Oh, man.
they got him
You
into
pulled at
shape.
me. That's
apparently.
usually what I
That's
do.
usually what you do.
I'm
I never
usually that
forget.
guy.
We were watching New Year's Eve like 20 years ago. One of my buddies walks in because he was outside smoking or something. And he walks in the room and goes, "Good God, did Dick Clark have a stroke or something?" And the entire living room of people turned and just went, "Yes,
Yes,
he did."
Yeah, you're a terrible person.
Oh,
Yeah, he had a stroke, man.
so bad.
I still can't believe they let. This is awful. I can't imagine. I guess it wasn't their fault. I guess he wanted to keep doing it.
Yeah.
but he
What were
was
we
in
talking about?
such
Dick
The-
Clark.
Dick
Oh,
Clark.
yeah. Oh, he definitely wanted to keep
He
doing
was in
it.
such bad shape, and
Yeah.
it was hard to watch.
Strokes are the scariest thing, man. They really are.
I'm
I
scared of
work
that
I work
stuff.
usually a stroke every couple days with the fire department, and you can see the fear in their eyes because they know that stuff isn't working. They know what they can. They're thinking clearly, but they cannot express it. They can't control it. They don't know what's and they're just afraid.
Scary.
And it really that is the scariest thing. Look, if you are listening right now and you have high blood pressure or anything like that, or just try to get it under control, because
here's something else. I was involved in a charity event once for stroke, and one of the things they said is the earlier you get help, the better you have a chance of recovering. I mean, obviously stroke can kill you, but a lot of people don't die, but then they never fully recover. So as soon as you notice that you have numbness or
what's the there's an acronym.
Oh, I don't know.
There's something about raising your arms, speaking. But yeah, there's a stroke acronym. There's supposed to be like 4 or 5 things that you do to check if you're feeling weird.
SFA, speech, face, arms.
Okay.
And it's act fast. I don't know what the T stands for, but it'll always be on one side. It'll always be on one side. So if you notice that like one arm is numb and or one side of your face is numb, call 911, get Bubba to your house as soon as possible. Yeah. Because that you have a much better chance.
I will help
of
load you onto a stretcher and into the ambulance. That's what I'll do.
A friend of mine had a stroke a couple of years ago, and it started because he worked from home. He was a telecommuter anyway before COVID, and he went to go type in his password to log into his computer, and his hands wouldn't type. And he's like, I know my password. And he called a friend of his. He's like, yeah, I guess I'm not feeling well.
How did he call his friend? If he can't type, how did he dial the phone?
I don't know if all he had to do was push a button as opposed to,
Call Gary Manilow.
And his friend was like, I think you need to go to the hospital. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll drive myself. And his friend goes, no. You need to call an ambulance. You can't drive. If you can't punch in your password on a keyboard, don't put yourself behind a wheel. I think he was afraid. He thought like maybe the dude was drunk from the night before. But his friend had said that, like, honestly, I just thought you were like wasted.
It is it is face, arm, speech time fast, because the faster you call,
the sooner you know. And that's it's crazy, man. I don't know. That's the hardest thing. I've seen a lot of terrible things over the past several years, but that is the one that every time I do it, my heart hurts for them, for their family, for everybody, because there's nothing you can do. I mean, by the time the stroke happens, the first symptom really is the stroke. So by the time it happens, it's already too late.
But
so
no, that's what we just
I know.
said.
But I'm saying it's already happened is what I'm saying. So the severity of the stroke is
it can literally happen to anybody. That's the other thing.
Any age, any time. It's crazy.
Well, this has been fun.
Well, thanks. Took a turn for the worse there.
I just spilled coffee on me.
Yes. Michael Ray, we had a good time with Michael Ray. Always good to see him. And he came in the studio. He's gonna be part of the ending of the podcast.
Very cool. Yeah. And also, he is coming back on the show in a couple weeks. So we're gonna have that whenever the EP comes out for higher education. Y'all all good?
He was yawning, and he was trying to get me on camera yawning because he's Big D. That's what he does. And then he missed it.
I did miss it. It looked like a rhino about to eat and I was like, my fingers won't work. Oh, what was that? Fast.
How dare you? I can't believe y'all making jokes about strokes.
We're not making jokes about strokes.
Stroke
We're
jokes
making
are not
jokes
fun.
about
Stroke
folks,
jokes.
Stroke
these
jokes.
dudes. But thank you again,
I do like
O'Reilly.
the song. That's what helped me a lot.
What? The stroke? The song?
Or stroking.
I've been stroking.
Stroking.
Do you guys say that when you're heading out to a call?
Yeah, no.
Never.
No, okay.
Never. You know, it's funny because we do.
I don't know if that's the way you cope or
I was going
whatever.
to say we joke
If
around.
you can't feel your face or one of your 2 arms, then call 911 and try to do no harm. You be stroking.
See, I said as a one-off, like
I
move
just
on.
swear, man.
And your boy went. Your boy went full.
No one gets Clarence Carter.
Yeah, people will give me a stern look, but when you do that, I hate you. That's when you start getting letters.
Oh,
dummy.
what? I was trying to make a thing about it.
I know. I can skirt the line. You can't.
I was talking about how to, make it memorable so people could do the fast thing.
Why are you still talking?
I don't know why is Bubba not playing the game.
I am ashamed. I am ashamed of our buddy.
Save us!
All right. Well, I'm going to let this go a little longer.
I just spilled coffee on me.
This was the podcast.
False alarm.
Oh, no, you're still on the
This
hook.
was the podcast.
Get the net. Get the net.
This was
This
the
is the
podcast.
fattest
but
fish
now
I've ever
it's over,
seen.
But that's
That's
okay, because
okay.
you can listen to the regular show
Probably not.
Fish. What?
on the radio every day.
Oh, this was the podcast.